in text 18 and 19, Krishna explains that one has to be equipoised, in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness, distress, fame and infamy. So that's a tall order for a person who is identifying with the material body. Because the material body is the intelligent, the false ego, the mind, right? Or the intelligence, the mind, and the senses, right? So the senses are always demanding something. It doesn't matter what it is. They're always demanding something. And so the senses have to be brought back in with the self, within the self, controlled by the intelligence. Krishna recommends that over and over again. He also says, Matra sparsasta konteya satosna sukadukada. Agamapayano nityas tangstatiksa svabharata. What that means is that one should be transcendental, really, to the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, their disappearance in due course of time, the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They are due to sense perception, right? Sense perception. And one has to learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. We've all been around people who just the littlest thing can upset their peace. Just the littlest, if it's too hot, if it's too cold, they're always complaining about something that's not just perfect in the world for them as far as their senses, their material body goes. So here Krishna is very carefully explaining that, if you want to become dear to him, you do need to get over all of this distress, this happiness and distress in the material world. These things are being taken place by the material nature, the three modes of material nature. Even though we think we're the doer, we are not the actual doer. Our situation is these modes are being done, and they're carrying out the results of our karmic reaction. We learned that in the previous chapters. So the body is conducting all these different activities. Everything is going, the food is digesting, we're evacuating, we're seeing, we're breathing, we're hearing, we think. Everything is going on. We don't know how. Scientists are trying to figure it out. And just in the last 100 years, have they made any progress being able to understand how the material body even works, or the material world, for that matter? So this is a very complex machine called a Virata Rupa that Krishna has made for us, which is a replica of the spiritual world. It actually is a shadow of the spiritual world. And things here look real, but they're not. They're temporary. So Krishna is recommending, do not partake in those pleasures which are temporary. The wise man does not partake in those pleasures, knowing that they're temporary. And instead, he concentrates on his eternal benefit or spiritual life. This material body is a sturdy boat for us to cross over this ocean of nescience. And with the spiritual master at the helm guiding the boat, we can easily attain our desired destination. In this chapter and a couple of the purports, Prabhupada explains that for the yogi who's adept at yoga, he can transfer his soul at will to any planet. So if he wants to go to a higher planetary system, live a longer life, have greater pleasure, this or that, he can go. But why would you want to? Krishna says earlier in Bhagavad-gītā, Abrahma bhuvanaloka. That means that this world is a place of mrityu. This world is a place of death. Even from Brahmaloka all the way down to the lowest planet. All are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. So the wise does not engage in those activities. Instead, the wise follows Krishna's instructions in 3:9, in chapter 3, number 9. He said, Yarta karma nonyatra, lokoyam karma bandhana, tadartam karma konteya, mukta sangha samachara. In other words, if you don't work for Vishnu, if you don't work for Krishna, you're guaranteed to be bound up in a wheel of samsara, cycle of birth and death, repeated.